Hello, everybody, and welcome to Frankenstein's podcast, where it's all about the monster. We're a creature feature podcast about monsters and why we love them. I'm one of your hosts, Joe Praska, and with me, as always, is
your other host, Khalid Hussein.
What's going on, Khalid?
Not much. Just recovering from a little pool party we had last night. I had enough energy to clean the whole house this morning, so the only evidence we even had a party is all of the drinks left over.
Huge. I was gonna say, what's going on with your voice?
Yeah. So I had a marathon karaoke session. We started the party at 3, went till midnight, and I was singing for the brunt of it.
Nice. What was your standout song moment?
Do you know that song "Wow, I Can Get Sexual Too" by Say Anything?
I do.
A lot of people don't. So like I bust that out and it's like got such a catchy chorus. These two guys I'd never met before, like they heard the chorus and just started belting it out loudly with me every time it came on. And it's just like such a zippy song. So like that one definitely got some reactions.
I love it. And honestly, Khalid, your voice sounds magnificent. I just said it because you were self-conscious about it in texting earlier.
Thank you for the call out. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no, it sounds wonderful.
Thank you.
But Khalid, guess what?
What?
We got a very special guest joining us today for this episode. So I'm going to move right into that. Joining us, Khalid, is Sadè Sellers, who is a screenwriter, a producer, a director. She's also the founder of a voter education and literacy organization called The Social Ripple Effect, and the host of the awesome podcast Afro Horror. Welcome, Sadè.
Oh, wow. That was such an awesome intro. I should just have you record it so I can carry it with me everywhere.
I'll snip this and keep it, yeah.
I would say his intros are the best thing he brings to the table.
You know, I got to have one thing.
Yeah. It's definitely not transitions, as you'll see.
They're great, also.
That's really great. Neither am I. Speaking of which, hello. Thank you for having me on the show. I'm super excited. We can finally make this happen. It's been like months and in the works. So
yeah, we've had a while of back and forth, but we finally got something on the books, and I'm glad to have it. I'm glad you're here to join us.
I'm so excited.
Thank you so much for joining us. Yeah,
I'm excited to talk about movie monsters.
Well, you came you came to the right place.
We love them here. I will give a shout out to your podcast, Afro Horror. I was a big fan, and I found you through listening to that, and that is definitely a great show. So if any listeners of our show have not checked that one out, definitely give that a listen.
Can I ask where you found it? Like, how did you find
what's
it?
That?
Can I ask how did you do this? I'm always interested.
You know, that's a really good question. I feel like it might have been through like a Twitter recommended thing. So like when I was setting up our podcast Twitter, I was like trying to follow other like topics and like-minded like accounts, and I feel like I saw it pop up as like, oh, you might be interested in following this account. So I did, and then I saw a few of your episodes pop up, and then I listened to a few more, and I'm like, this is great, I love this, and then I was really excited to reach out and see if you want to do a collaboration. So I think it was Twitter, actually.
I love Twitter. I love when they do threads of like, who should I listen to, and then someone, because we're really terrible at engagement on social media, but someone will say Afro Horror. I'm like, thanks guys, thanks for reminding us that we have a podcast. So
yes. Well, engagement on social media is so hard. It's so hard for me too.
I have my own where I'm like, I just dump little silly thoughts from my brain every day, but to do like it professionally and trying to keep it engaged, that's a full-time job. Like we do have a social media manager, Nicole, who's awesome, and she'll post all of our stuff, but I've never asked her to like do engagement because I'm like, that's an all day, that's a thing. It's such a thing. So I don't know. I don't feel like we're ever really going to do engagement. Sorry guys. Maybe that's why we're not as good.
I mean, there's a reason it's like its own job, like social media engagement. Like it's the same thing with like marketing and all of that. Like you need somebody like fully dedicated to it. It's not enough to just make a whole podcast and routinely put it out.
Yeah, no, that's true. And it should be a separate job, right? You hit the nail on the head. Like I've worked for companies where that was all a part of their job, like engagement and management. And I was like, that's two separate things. Like the creation of posts, the posting of the post, and engagement of the post, unless they're getting like thousands of dollars, that's asking too much from one person.
Totally.
And welcome to the social media podcast.
Yeah.
So anyway, again, but to be fair, this conversation does does apply to the second question that you sent me that you were going to ask. So,
All right. All right. So good. Well, you got the segues down, right? So
yeah,
we'll just move right into the guest questions then, huh?
yeah, exactly.
Well, let's talk monsters then. So, my first question for you, as a new guest on our podcast, and given this is a creature feature podcast, in any corner of pop culture, what is your favorite monster? And if it's not the same, what would you consider to be the scariest for you?
My favorite monster is probably like a really boring answer that a lot of people have said before, but it's Frankenstein. Um, and that's my favorite because the idea of like wanting to create something with a positive intention of like, I'm going to take the best parts of this person or all these people and make one giant great person. And then, it's just a creation that's so awful or it didn't intend to be, but it was, is I think a really interesting concept. The scariest monster to this day is the gremlins.
Ooh, interesting. The Gremlins, huh? From Gremlins, right? Right?
Um,
I'm pretty sure it was Office Space.
obviously, the gremlins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Obviously not when they're like not without water. When they're without water, they're very, very cute, adorable. I want one. But when they get water, I just remember like watching those movies growing up, and I was terrified. And then when I almost said Pikachu. What's Furbies? When Furbies came out, I was like, no,
Yeah.
watch
Yeah.
like a mistake. So, and I know they're remaking Gremlins, and I'm like, how do you even? Because the puppetry of it, and again going back to creatures, that's what made them so scary. Is like the practical effects of the Gremlins were just so good, and the makeup. But they're frightening. I don't like them.
I watched the Chucky reboot series and with my mom of all things. We've never watched a horror movie or show together, so that was fun. But I thought they did a pretty good job with the practical effects for Chucky. And I mean, my worry is they'll always just like go the CGI route and it just won't be the same. But I have hope.
No, I agree. I really enjoyed the Chucky series. My friend Kim Garland, hi Kim, is a writer on the show. And I love, I mean, obviously CGI has done so much, and there is a lot of CGI in that show, but the practical puppetries of Chucky itself is so good. And like you said, it just feels authentic and it feels better when you're watching it.
I just love whenever he like tackles somebody. It just always looks so funny.
So funny.
Uh, we got to do Chucky, dude.
We definitely got to do Chucky.
That
Yeah.
was going to be my original answer, believe it or not. And I
Oh.
switched it because I've told this story on other podcasts, and I was like, at this point, people are gonna be like, she tells the same story over and over again. But Chucky was the first horror movie I ever watched, and like peed my pants when my cousin forced me to watch it, and so, and I don't know, I didn't consider Chucky a creature. I guess you guys tell me it's your show, you make the rules, but to me, he's not a creature, so that's why I picked Frankenstein.
I think we're pretty fast and loose with it.
We are. I think we've gotten even more faster and more looser as time's gone on. Like we did a RoboCop episode, which is basically like Frankenstein, right?
Oh,
Like
I
it's a
love
Frankenstein story.
RoboCop so much.
I think
Yeah.
I think cyborgs and like people with
Cyborgs
like
count.
alterations, yeah, that counts.
But like Ghost Demon and a doll, like that totally counts, I'd say.
There you go.
It's a monster. Yeah. So Frankenstein and Chucky can be both your answers. How about that?
Frankenstein and Chucky and Grim.
And we love Frankenstein too, given our podcast name.
Cool dude.
I didn't even connect
Yeah.
that till now because that's so silly.
Yeah.
I really wasn't doing that to Brown Nose. I really was like, oh yeah, Frankenstein.
Oh, he's a classic for a reason.
Oh yeah.
Well, you know how this show is gonna go. Oh gosh, all right. Let's get to that next one because that was interesting.
I love it. I love it. Next question is like, what would you say is on your geek card? What do you feel like you're geeky about, or you like to just be nerdy about with your friends or with yourself?
And this goes back to our conversation we were having with social media. So it's not technically social media, but it's any new app or resource. Like I'm a geek for finding out productivity resources or quick cuts. Like if you can tell me something new about Google Sheets, I will be all in it. And if I can tell you about new apps that have come out for like productivity, I'm going to tell you about them. I really geek out about just nerdy tech stuff that makes your life slightly easier.
Honestly, I'm on that same wave with my job. I never thought I'd be that guy, but like I get so excited about like replenishing my office supplies and stuff.
Yes.
I, no joke, have a fishing tackle box full of like office supplies, like label maker, scissors, stapler.
Nice.
Like I'm a one man Staples office. Like it's awesome.
I do love that. And then, with the social media, because I'm 32, so I'm not old, but some of the people that work under me are like in their early 20s, and they humble me very quickly when they start talking about like TikTok and algorithms. And I'm like, I really need to brush up on this stuff. But I'm like you, I'm like old school. I'm like, I want to feel it. I want to touch it. I want to like grab it. Like even today, I was doing like a budget for someone, and I was like, let's just like make a little chart on a piece of paper really quick, like of things that we need. So I love technology. I love learning. Like even we're recording this on Zencaster. Now look, 3 years ago I tried to use Zencaster and I did not like it. But it was
Mm.
early stages. It was like just launching, and now coming back to it, I'm like, well, look how much better it got. Years. That's awesome. I might come back.
We're actually using, as we speak, we're using Zencaster Classic because they updated it, and Khalid and I had trouble with the new version. So that's interesting you say that.
Ooh, well, classic. Okay, well, I need to compare. We'll offline about it because I'm so interested, like how much you're paying, how much storage does it hold. Because the one thing I hated about it, again, this is not the tech podcast, but I hated that it would send my files to a Google folder and then I couldn't find them. I hope they fix that. So I don't know.
Yeah. We could definitely go
We'll offline about
into it. It does. Yeah, it does. It's been convenient for us, I'd say, lately. Yeah, we moved from another one to this, and I've liked it so far.
It looks so much better. Just to cap this conversation, it's so much better than what it was when I was on it. So awesome.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Riveting,
I suppose
real riveting.
is absolutely riveting. Yeah, I suppose we should move into the monster stuff, huh?
I guess. I mean, it's your show.
Yeah.
We can talk about tech all day.
Honestly, I
We
was gonna
could.
say if you guys need 15 minutes, like I can just like go do a lap.
No.
Hey.
Stay close. We're gonna dive into it.
Yeah. Khalid, what are we talking about today?
Thanks for asking, Joe. Today we are talking about the 2006 Neil Marshall film, The Descent. And I've got a little synopsis from our homeboy Google that goes a little something like this. The Descent is a 2005 British horror film written and directed by Neil Marshall. The film follows 6 women who, having entered a cave system, struggle to survive against the humanoid creatures inside. Filming took place in the United Kingdom.
What a monster!
They're creatures of the abstract that live off potential energy.
It's alive!
There's a lot more trivia in this one than usual.
Yeah, trivia in the synopsis, huh? It also it said 2005, and then you said 2006.
I said 2000. Oh yeah, that's what it says for the release date. I guess that might be the U.S. Release date since it's a British film.
Great point. Well, thanks for the synopsis.
It hasn't come across the podcast yet. I'm so excited when you said we haven't talked about it. I'm like, yes.
Yeah, no, this has been on my list. I don't know why. Like we've been trying to do like newer ones and then some classics. And then when we invite guests on, we usually give guests the opportunity to like choose what they want to discuss. And this one just hasn't come up. So when you mentioned, I was very excited.
Especially on the topic of creatures, I was like, we can't talk about creatures without talking about the creature from this movie. Like, oh,
for sure. Yeah, they're. I mean, visually iconic, I would say. Like there's a lot. Anyway, we should talk about the movie itself. Khalid, why don't you start us off? What did you think of the movie? I know that you're coming to it fresh. Like this was new to you, right?
Oh yeah, I never saw this. I distinctly associate this movie with like that moment in my life when like I was like proudly anti-horror in general. So like I was like in high school or whatever when it came out, and yeah, like everybody was like talking about it. I remember this is I think the first year I came to Rogers. And so like I remember a lot of people talking about it in high school. And I was just like, it's not for me. I don't really like horror. It's kind of perverse and like just really up my own ass is the short version of it. But I do remember distinctly liking the poster for it where it's like all the girls look like a skull. Like,
yeah.
Do you guys remember that? Like that was like really iconic, and like that did just like stick with me even all these years later. So, but yeah, coming back to it now, like after watching all the stuff we have and just like finding things to appreciate about it, I guess like my overall thought is like repeatedly through the movie, the same thought kept coming up that I was like, is this girl Fight Club?
but
You know what I
worse.
mean? Like, I wish someone had pitched it to me that way, because that's what it feels like in like a weird way. Like, in terms of like the actual like story, it was a little hard for me to get into, mostly because of like the girl fight club of it all, where it's like these like relatively affluent like women that are like intentionally doing this like dangerous, like even monsters aside, just a wildly dangerous thing for thrills, I guess. I can't imagine. It's like, it doesn't seem like a good workout compared to like just riding a bike or something, or mountain climbing even. Like, you're just like going miles underground for like shits and giggles, and that's so weird to me. And I just, for me, like, I need something to like hold on to in terms of like a point of like familiarity. And it's like when the movie starts with them doing like the most horrifying thing I could imagine as like a fun outing, like it's really hard to bounce back. But that didn't keep me from enjoying a lot of it. Like, I think it really picked up when the monsters were there, the interpersonal dynamics were great. And yeah, like, it's just, I thought it was fun. Like, the action scenes were great, and in the same way that the city in Sex and the City was a character, the movie does a great job making the cave a character. So yeah, all around, I would definitely recommend it, even if it's not necessarily like my jam or my go-to. What about you, Joe?
I saw this back when it came out. I think maybe I was probably one of the people saying, "Khalid, you should watch this," and you were telling me it wasn't for you. But I really liked it. I remember this movie is definitely one of the ones that has like a jump scare that stuck with me. Like, not a lot of jump scares really stick with me, but that one sequence when they have like the thermal camera or whatever, and it's all the green imaging, and you see the creature like the first time behind one of the girls. Remember that?
Oh yeah, I do.
Yeah.
That's like that scene has always stuck with me ever since I first saw this, like back in the theaters back in the day. And I mean, it's a great. There's a lot of really good like building of tension, like good jump scares. Like, I'm not like, again, not, sometimes jump scares can come off cheap, but I think they're done really effectively here. I'm with you, Khalid. I like the character dynamics. They all, like, at first I felt like some of the characters were a little interchangeable, but I think as, especially once the monsters came in, like, they all felt pretty unique, and like some of the what they brought to the story and what they brought to like different sequences too.
You know what's fun? You
Um,
know what's funny though?
yeah,
Just talking about how they're interchangeable. I thought
yeah.
it was so hilarious that like they painstakingly say each other's names like over and over again, and it's like, you know, they know. It's like, it's so easy to confuse one for the other. There's so many characters that kind of get introduced all at once, and it was just like times where it would just be like, Holly, what are you doing? Beth, Juno, like just like freaking yelling the same name over and over again. And for me, the hilarious part of it is like, it didn't help. I still didn't know who was who. Like, once like they started dying off, I was like, thank God. Okay, like, I think I've got it now. I get who the survivors are.
Yeah, I mean, I would say, like, name wise, I don't remember who's who except for the main couple, but yeah, I think that there was the,
Joe, you
yeah,
don't
like,
remember Beth?
I remember Beth. Beth got like a pitchfork through the neck, right?
Gosh,
I
I
remember
don't think
Beth.
that would be a pitchfork. It's like a
What?
it's like a climbing spike.
Yeah, what did I say? Pitchfork, axe, pickaxe. That's what I'm trying to say.
Beth bit it pretty hard in the beginning there, and Beth
Yeah, Beth.
kind of,
Yeah, Beth got it. Yeah,
got it.
Sade, I'm guessing you like this movie since you suggested it, but give me your overall thoughts.
I really enjoyed listening to both of you share your thoughts, because I feel like because I've been obsessed with this movie since it came out, that I assume everyone else is, and that they've seen it and that they like love it as much as I do. So I find it fun to meet people who are like, hey, I enjoyed it, but like whatever, because I'm like, oh, I can't wait to break it down and get you to really love it. Well, that you've missed, that why you should love it. So for me, the creatures obviously are so great. Like, again, it's one of those are special, not those are special effects. They're not CGI. That's makeup. That's artistry. That's a tech person, really a crew member getting their hands dirty and really putting and those are actors who are acrobatic and moving around. So all of that is just fascinating, right? And they do so well. But for me, what makes this story so special and so different is that Khalid, that story, like that fight girl club story that you're talking about. Which especially with Juno, who is such a polarizing character, and she's my favorite character in this because she is not perfect and she's very messy and she has made mistakes, but she fights and she's a survivor, and she really did have good intentions, but they were really bad good intentions. And she honestly, spoiler, I mean, she would have made it out if it wasn't, for someone else. So I'm
Not
excited.
only would she have made it out, she would have gone back the next day for round two.
Yeah, she was ready. She would have gathered everyone. She would have killed. She would have done it. She would have got the job done. And there is a sequel if you haven't seen it, and you should watch it because it's actually pretty good for a sequel for a movie like this. But I really do love that. I do agree with you. It didn't really hit me until you said it. Like there's so many of them and their names, and it is so dark. So I think that's the reason why they are just constantly calling out names, because it is pretty dark. Like it's really dark. But there are a lot of them, and it is, technically like I guess you can almost say it's a slasher if the slasher was a creature, because they're taking them down one by one and they're setting them up and taking them down like pinballs. But that didn't bother me, but I love the relationship with these women. I thought they were the friendships of them, and how it's awkward, especially getting older, and trying to keep your friendships together is something really relatable for me as I get older with my girlfriend. So look, I'm ready to break this down because I love this movie. Give it another chance, Khalid. It's really good.
I'll give it another chance, but I mean, I don't know. Like, I guess why would you go miles underground for fun? It's so weird. Like, did I just like misunderstand the way that like coal miners and like that time period was like pitched to us as kids? Cause like, I feel like it was very decidedly on the side of like, be lucky you don't have to do that job. Like, that's not really a thing anymore. And like, you have other options.
Okay, let's break that down then. Let's start there. So spelunking is a real sport and it's a real hobby and people do it. And that's when you go cave diving, right? And the movie itself opens up with the women in this whitewater rafting, like adventurous. Like this is their thing. This is how they bond. And every year they get together and they do some sort of adventure. And it's usually Juno who's picking it. So we see that as soon as we open the film, that this is how they bond, this is how they communicate, this is how they get together. And again, what I really love about that is there is a movie that came out years after this one called The Ritual. And I think you've seen that, right? It's on Netflix, The Ritual.
I don't think I have.
Yes, The Ritual's great.
Okay.
I have. We should do that on the podcast.
Yes, do that one because that's another creature one that's really fun. But really the premise of that one too is about a group of guy friends who get together and they go to a different like adventure or camping trip every year as well, right? So it is for me a really fun thing to see, like, okay, these are a group of friends. This is what they do as like a girls trip. But instead of them going to a tropical vacation, they like to be adventurous. They like to do rock climbing or whitewater rafting or spelunking. And again, there's nothing wrong with the spelunking because people do that. But what was wrong was Juno's decision of like going to a cave that's not on a map and then not marking their points and not doing all the safety things that they're used to.
I would say there's something wrong with spelunking, just fundamentally.
Well, I would never spelunk.
I don't know. Okay, it's that group of friends. I don't get it. Like the fact that you could find one other person that would do that, let alone five, and like they're like using their vacation days. Like, can you imagine that? Like, you've got a grind of a job. One of them is in med school, like studying, and then like
Right.
you get some time off to like reconnect with your friends, and it's just like even without the monsters, your vacation is crawling through like tiny caves and like maybe dying. I just like mountain climbing, I kind of get, skydiving, I get, even camping, I get, but spelunking is just like, what do you like? Do you just not like living? Like, is this like just like some weird like cry for help? Like, are you telling me something when you ask me to go spelunking?
Well, technically, in this film, the caves that they're going through, that Juno's making them believe they're going to, have already mapped out trails and are safe and are on maps. So it looks tight to us, and it looks like claustrophobic, and it's meant to. But for them, it's probably the least challenging adventure they had together. Like I would say, the whitewater rafting was like intense, like you said. Like you could drown, you could fall, and they took their kids and their husband. Like that's a little crazy. But if it had not been for Juno's, obviously bad intentions and bad mistake, they could have done that a perfectly safe way. And again, the med student girl, wouldn't you want a doctor with you if you're going to go on a trip like this? Like, I want my doctor with me too.
Yep.
I feel like a doctor 2 miles underground in a cave is as useful as anyone else 2 miles underground in a cave. Like, there's only so much they can do.
She made that splint though.
Yeah, she made that. But
after the bone sticking out scene, that was a great scene.
You do bring up a good point, though. The movie I would have loved to have watched is of the cave cartographer who goes around just like making routes. That sounds like a movie.
I think that's a great prequel because like we did see that there was evidence that other people were in this cave from a long time ago with old equipment. So I'm like, where's that prequel where we get that story?
Yeah, the 100 years ago. Yeah, that should have been the part
Yes.
2, huh?
I want it to be like a real
Yeah.
quaint thing though, like just real low stakes. Monsters don't come up. Like just like Spike
Right.
Jones vibes, you know?
Like, what's the one with the guy who lost his arm? You want something like that?
No, that's too much conflict. I don't want anything to
Too
happen to
intense.
my guy. Like he goes in, does the job, comes out, maybe has a sandwich, you know. I'm not writing
Just a
it. I'm not
pleasant
writing it for
a,
Spike Jones. I'm just pitching.
a pleasant cave mapping experience is what you want.
Exactly, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Fair enough.
Sounds so cute. Yeah.
I wrote down like when I was writing this, like I hate caves. I think like I totally get what you're saying, Sade. That's like it's definitely a thing that people dig and people are into. But man, like when I watched this and when I watched As Above, So Below is another one that got me.
Oh
Like
yeah.
the claustrophobia is so effective and like freaks me out more than most horror movies do. It's just like the any type of sequence where there's a character in a tiny place and they get stuck and they start panicking. Like I'm like panicking outside. I'm like, you know, like this is awful. And especially in this one, when she's stuck, when she's panicking, uh, and then the cave-in starts to happen while she's stuck. Like that was just absolutely horrifying. I do love the like pep talk that Beth gives her. What's her main character's name? Is it Sarah? Right?
Sure.
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah, it's Sarah. Yeah,
Sarah and Juno. Yeah.
but I like the pep talk because it kind of brings into that like that through line of like what the trauma that Sarah's trying to get over. It's like you've already had the worst thing happen to you that ever can happen to you. You got to deal with this, you know.
Can
And
we
what
talk
else?
about that trauma? Because that was for me. It's like I'm a low key like Final Destination fan. Like I actually really think at least the first two are fun, and then I forget which of the
Mhm.
sequels was also not bad. But I love when a movie sneaks in a Final Destination like they did with this. You know, it's just like get into an accident with a car and then boom, all that rebar goes through. Like it was horrifying and stuff, but I appreciated
Yeah,
like the illusion there.
It was really horrible, like to lose your husband and your daughter, but you know, and then to find out in a cave underground with creatures chasing you that your husband was cheating on you with your best friend. Like Sarah could not have suffered more in this movie if they tried. Like,
Oh, homegirl went through it.
she went through it, and she
Mhm.
came out, spoiler alert, victorious. But watch the sequel.
Yeah. Yeah, I read the synopsis to the sequel. I'm very curious. I was unsure of it because I kind of like the place we're at in the end here, which we should talk about. We are well into spoiler territory, so it's all good. Go ahead and spoil away. But I don't know if you knew this, Khalid, but there is actually two endings to this, right? So there's the ending that I think we all watched, where Sarah escapes. There is an alternate ending, which I think Neil Marshall calls, from what I read, the British ending, which is like the bleak one where she does not make it.
Oh,
That is very
Yeah, have
good.
you seen that ending?
me specifically? No.
No, Sade, I'm assuming you did because you like this movie or no?
Yeah, I've seen it. And look, I tend to lean towards the British side. I love a good like gut punch ending, but I do think it was the better choice was for her to make it out, and the sequel explains, you know, all that. So
Yeah,
I
I'm
think
with
killing
you.
him
I kind
after
of like the
yeah.
happier one.
I think killing somebody after going through all of that just to like die at the end in some weird like tag is always just like less fulfilling.
Hmm.
well,
For
it
sure, for
sucks
sure.
definitely, but is it realistic? Probably, because again, Juno out of anyone should have been the one that made, and she would have, right?
I mean, I threw realism out the door when they all went cave dwelling for a vacation.
You
So
can't let that go. And then
He stays on things.
right, because I'm the type of person, like, would I ever do it? No. But when you said plane jumping, I was like, yeah, people plane jumping, I don't understand it. People like skydiving and even rock climbing, I'm like, I don't get that, but you do your thing. So
well, with rock climbing, you go up and then you get to go down. Like with that, you're just going further and further into a worse scenario just to have to climb out of it, which is like that's the worst route to
you
me.
mean the descent? You descend. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. I'm
Descend.
not a fan of the yeah, if the sequel's called The Ascent, maybe I'll give that a watch.
That's the prequel
Yeah.
that we're making. I mean, look, it's also like I don't know if you've talked about it yet, but like I really love 47 meters down, and it's about shark diving, cage diving, and I'm like, yeah, that's one thing I don't ever have to experience. I'm good. I'm so good. I'm so good. Thank you.
I'm very much in the school of thought there, where it's just like, I'm glad Black people aren't in this, because I wouldn't believe that they would be in this situation to begin with. You
And the
know,
spelunking, there's always one.
I want that story. Like, just make a whole cinematic universe about the Black person that goes spelunking and the cave cartographer.
Oh yeah, it's him. That's it. But you know what? If we're being honest, if it was me and it was a group of girls and they told me it was safe and we had a map and there was a route and people knew where we were, I was like, okay, I could probably do that. Like that's fine.
Braver than me.
Yeah, right. I was like, I can do that, because that's the whole theme of this movie is like trust. Trusting yourself, but also trusting your friends. And I think that's why I really enjoy this movie, because again, they trusted Juno. And every time I talk to someone about this movie, they really, really hate Juno. Like, they have a visceral hatred for her. And I don't. I'm not saying I sympathize with her or I empathize with her, but I'm saying I think she is an honest portrayal of humanity, of like mistakes you made and your good intentions and things just don't go right, and then you try to make up for them. You really, really try to make up for them, and then it's not enough. So I really love that character.
I appreciated what she brought to it. Sorry, go ahead, Joe.
No, I said I'm with you. I really like the Juno character. I felt, I mean, the final scene where she, you know, puts the pickaxe through, like, I see where that's coming from, and I get it, and I think that you can't deny like the struggles that Sarah has gone to bring her to that moment. But I mean, I felt a little bit sad for Juno, giving, like, seeing like all of what she was able, like her survivor element, like what she did to try to like claw her way like to freedom, and like also the whole time trying to find Sarah, because like, I need to bring her back because I did this for her, because she's carrying that guilt so this whole time. And so like, I felt bad for the character, and I felt, I think the sequel might contradict this a little bit, but in my head I thought I saw there was like a moment of like, no, I get, like, from Juno when she gets like stabbed in the leg, like, no, I get what you're doing here, and
no, I saw
accept
that
it.
look.
I accept it. You know,
No,
I felt like that was a deliberate choice.
Such a great call out, such a great moment, so small. There's no dialogue between them. She gets the pickaxe into the leg by Sarah, and you're right.
Mm-hmm.
Juno's just like, what the? I mean, look, I deserve this. This is what I deserve. And the beat after that, Joe, is really dope. Juno, again, she takes it out of her leg and she swings back, and she's like, all right, I'm still gonna.
She's ready to go.
I'm still gonna fight. And it's such a great comparison, because Sarah was like forced to like fight for herself, fight for her life, because of this grief thing that she was doing. Like what we talked about, the way Beth told her, you know, the worst thing ever happened to you. Sarah has to, like, she's been pushed along the movie to fight, so she's like accidentally surviving. Juno's a survivor, period, point blank, period. She was gonna make it regardless what you guys were doing, and she doesn't give up. Like, even when has an axe to her leg, she takes it out and she's like, "Let's go. We're gonna go." I love her.
Yeah,
she
had some of the most badass scenes too. Like, didn't she have like a scene where she shows up, like monster going after some people and just snaps his neck?
Yeah, dude, it was great. So awesome.
That was great.
No, yeah, I got big like Sarah Connor and like Buffy vibes from her when she was in those like fight scenes. It was so awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, so cool. My question for you guys is, I don't, like, was she wrong to, like, here's the thing. There's 2 points in this where I don't think Juno is really wrong. Like, one, when she's fighting that monster and like her adrenaline is pumping, like, Beth, say anything if you're gonna walk up to her, you know? Because it's literally like she just like hears footsteps, turns around, and like she's in fight mode. You're watching her in like full on survival mode, and you don't even like whistle or nothing. That's rude. You know what I mean?
That's
like,
just not survivalist. Like, that's not survival 101 at all. Like,
even in a passive situation, like I'm just at the office and I walk up to a buddy of mine. If his back's turned to me, I at least like I pipe up, you know, because anything could happen. You know, he could be on his guard for something.
Well, let's break down Beth and Juno's dynamic. So Beth is aware, she's figured it out that Juno was cheating with Sarah's husband. But here's my thing. Beth never said anything to Sarah. So for me, Beth is just as guilty not as guilty as Juno. I'm not putting the blame on the other woman. I'm just saying, you knew this. You didn't confront or tell Sarah about this. That does not make you a good friend either. She didn't deserve to die that way. But to your point, it's just like everyone who's kind of like hurt Sarah in a third degree got it first.
It also shows a troubling pattern with Beth's decision-making skills. She doesn't tell her friend about affairs, and she doesn't whistle when she walks up to somebody whose back is turned. It's
Yeah.
it doesn't paint a good picture for old Beth. I don't know.
No, and some people try to argue that Juno knew she was there and like took that moment to like take Beth out. And I say no, you can see it in her eyes that she's so shocked that it's Beth.
And
And
that
Beth
brings
is
me,
so
yeah.
shocked.
And that brings me to my other point is like, was she wrong to walk away from Beth when she's like, don't leave me? Like, I feel like that's asking a lot of somebody that has to already wrestle with the fact that they just did like the most horrible thing to a friend, you know?
She was wrong.
So
She was definitely wrong.
I don't know. I don't think I could stay there. Like, I'm already going to be living with that forever. You want me to wait for like the curtain call?
No, you got to kill your friend
No.
in that respect. Like,
Yeah, she's definitely wrong, but I think that what she did is very, like, I think you mentioned earlier, it's very human. Like, it
Yeah.
seems like it's a decision that makes a lot of sense. Like, I get where I get the mental whatever is going on there.
she was scared the creatures were coming, and she could,
Mhm.
she backed out. But the noble thing but again, this is all like Juno's arc. She's not quite arced yet, so she's still growing. But the noble thing would have to finish your friend off, like a hole to the neck. You're not surviving. Let me go ahead and just cook you one and be done. That's like the least like evil thing to do.
That's a big 1-2 punch though there, because like now you're talking about within the span of 5 minutes, she's found out that cave monsters exist, had to kill one or two of them,
Yeah,
and she has to mercy kill her friend who she accidentally wounded in battle. Like
these are the choices when you break up a happy home. Yes.
that's the reason she's in that situation. You're right.
But the other question is, was Beth wrong? Because Beth again started some mess. When Sarah finds Beth sputters out in her last moments. It was Juno. You're not telling the whole story, girl. this is not fair because it technically wasn't. Like, hold on. And
She
that's
should have been like choking on her words, like blood coming out, and just been like, I didn't whistle.
right, accident. And then she hands Sarah the necklace from her husband and her daughter, which means that Juno had it. And Sarah puts it together. So again, Beth, even in death, you little messy girl, like before you died, you started out a wildfire, because Sarah never would have came for Juno like that had Beth not been like, oh, she killed me, and oh, she was effing your man too, like, and then she just dies. No.
Do you think that her tombstone says like, here lies Beth, she died doing what she loved, being messy?
I think it should be, here lies Beth, a messy bitch till the end.
Yours is cleaner. It's way more succinct. I like it.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it.
We're not
Wow.
She's going down in the hater hall of fame. She died hating. That's respect.
she died hating, exactly. Till the very end. I don't know. Beth's character always confused me. She seemed like she really deeply cared about Sarah. But again, I know it's messy when you have friends who've been cheated on and like, what's your place? But like, her husband and her baby has been dead a year, and it never crossed your mind before they took this giant trip together. Like, hey, you probably shouldn't hang out with Juno. Like, that feels a little bad decision. Bad decisions everywhere in this movie. But
that's the recipe to a good horror movie, though.
That's true. Yeah, we enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. Did we cover the creature, like the body makeup of the creatures yet? Because I'm really excited.
So you're on the transitions today. No,
yeah,
she's great at it. I was just about to say, I was going to say, let's dig into monster stuff. I always have a lot of stuff about the monster, both like in universe and behind the scenes. So I'll kind of like go off of a few points that I got, and we could kind of like elaborate a little bit.
Yes.
So just to preface everything, in universe, the creatures that we call them the crawlers are basically like vicious humanoids who have existed for many years underground in this like North Carolina cave system. They're blind. They can detect prey via sounds, we find out, at echolocation. They are perfectly adapted to a life underground. They can climb walls with ease, move with great speed, and they have, I'd say, a medium amount of strength. I was about to say great strength, but not quite, because I think they're.
I was going to say, you better mention that
people. Yeah,
I was going to say, you better mention that they're weak as fuck. Like they're
they're not super strong. They're not super strong, but the behind the scenes part is actually really interesting because it is completely practical. So this was done by makeup effects artist Paul Hyatt, who designed the creatures. They were he was directed to design them as like cavemen who never left caves, and kind of also to give them like a Nosferatu kind of look, which I think comes through. And he actually adjusted the design originally from Neil Marshall's original design, which was like these creatures with like big bug eyes, and he was like, nah, that doesn't really work with what I'm trying to do here. So he brought that back down a little more realism to it. So but they also like gave them a family structure and hierarchy. Like we see like the female crawler at one point, and there seems to be
Yeah,
like younger
let's stop
ones.
right
So
there and
that
talk
was
about that
interesting.
female crawler because
Yeah, that's yes.
well, the boobs. I just why? Like I don't know. The female crawler, I get it. Like, oh, this is the mama, but like she had it was just like boobs. I don't know. It just felt.
Do you think that was like a makeup choice, or do you think like that was because did you bring this up that they actually hired like actors to do this role, like the roles of the monsters rather than like stunt people or something? Like there's like people who are actors, so they could bring like some sort of I don't know
Well,
extra to the role. But is that like they just hired like a woman? Is that her shape, or is it did he
well,
like
sure. If you
no,
want
we
to
need to
bring,
have boobs on this one?
well, if you want to bring logic into it, Joe, yeah, sure. Duh. Again,
Sometimes,
it didn't cross
sometimes.
my mind till now. It didn't cross my mind till now. I don't know. Maybe I'm reaching too far, but I just felt like, why are we sexualizing the crawler? Maybe she just had boobs. Maybe you're right. Maybe that stunt double just had boobs, and I need to shut up forever. So it's fine. I take it back.
No, no. Wow,
I'm like that lady
wow.
from
Now I feel bad.
the article talking about Amandla and bodies. I'm like, there's boobs. My
That
bad.
was actually the original
Yeah.
title was Boobies, Boobies, Boobies.
Yes, boobies, boobies, boobies.
It didn't test well.
Anyway, continue with the creature facts. I'm enjoying these. These are great.
Yeah, there's a lot. Oh my gosh, I have one that just ties into what we were just talking about. Originally, the crawlers were going to be exclusively male, but the creators decided to add female and child crawlers to show that it was an active colony. So maybe you're right. They were like, oh, we need boobs to show female. So I don't know.
Interesting. I'm glad we're growing society. This was like what 20 years ago. Like now we have like non-binary crawlers and like
Yeah,
um
exactly.
that's totally fine. But now I don't know how our rated R the show can get. I won't get rated R, but now when
Go for it. Go for it. You're fine.
well, then how are these crawlers having sex? Like I just really need to like I want to see the whole birthing process. I want to see like the reproductive process now. Yeah, I want to.
You want the Planet Earth edition, like the documentary about the crawlers, like after this movie takes place, like the scientists going down, being like, okay, so now we got to figure out like what's going on here, like biologically, right? You want that
Well,
part.
yeah, it makes sense. I guess they do have to reproduce or they would have died off. Like, but I'm just
Yeah.
Imagine what David Attenborough would have to say about the crawlers.
the
Yeah.
pregnant crawlers.
That's the sequel I want.
Oh yeah.
We made a bunch of sequels to this movie now.
I mean, yeah, we're doing the hard part for them. Like these ideas are mint.
I want the porno version of this, which is just the crawlers going at it. So,
Just the X-rated take. Yeah.
Yeah, like a crawler's delivering a pizza to a lonely housewife.
Yeah, something. But you know, it that the female crawler in this, it's very compelling, and that's why I really love the crawlers. They don't say anything. Obviously, they're not. You know, they have some like bat signal voices or whatever, but it's all in their movements, and it's like watching like a ballet, like just her movements and how sad she is for. Did someone kill her baby, or was it her man? I can't remember which one died.
I thought it was the man, but I could be wrong.
I think it was the man. Maybe it looked like maybe her young or a son, but not too young. But like it felt like a child to me. Like, oh, I just lost my child. And then that made me have a lot of sympathy for the crawlers. I was like, oh, you killed her baby, but you were just trying to survive. But also, that's her baby. Like, imagine you're just in your house. Everyone listening, you're in your house. You're like, you know, snacking, whatever, and then these 5 bitches just walk in and just start like.
You make a good point. This is a metaphor for colonialism.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. And like who is the actual villain here? Is it the crawlers or is it the humans?
I'd say
they're just doing their
Juno
thing.
is definitely the villain. How are you gonna lie about what cave you're going to?
Juno.
Yeah, Juno is the villain for sure. Like it'd be like if Columbus told everybody he was sailing with like they were going to like Greece or something. And then he's like, just kidding. Welcome to the new land.
But it's also like the theme of survival here is so great because like the crawlers aren't trying. They're not, you know, like they're not nefarious just to be nefarious. They live off of animals they go up to the surface to bring down, and then lunch comes to them, and they don't know better. They don't know that you have a family or you're in med school or that whatever, that you cheated on her. They don't care about that. They're just eating, and that's just survival. That's like predator and prey style. So I really love the themes of that, and the whole colony idea of making the crawlers have like a system. So brilliant. Well done.
I mean, the world building's
Agreed.
good, but I'm also just like like it was a weird hang up I had where like when they just start eating them, where I was just like, I don't know, like they seem malnourished and like they probably live off of like tinier animals. So like I can't imagine like you'd just be so eager to like eat a full on human like that. That just seems like so much for your digestion.
They live under a cave and they're hungry. Like you said, all they have is squirrels and rats. It's like if I came home and someone just walked in with like bags of Chipotle, and I didn't even order it. I'm like, oh my god, is that a breedable? Absolutely, thank you. Like, are you guys not going to eat it? I don't know. Is it just me?
No. I mean, I guess it's just because like I associate them with like wild animals themselves, and like as far what I know of it is like it's very rare for most wild animals to even try to eat a human because it's like such a like foreign thing to them.
But are they wild animals? Like that's the point, right? They have a civilized well, not civilized, but they have structure. They have a hierarchy. That one big bad crawler guy is the leader, we can tell. And they've got kids and they've got probably some homeschooling. Like they have a thing going on there. It's like,
I mean, you could just as easily be describing bees, you know? Like that's a pretty natural like environmental thing as far as I see it, where it's like obviously like they're humanoid and like there's a discussion there about whether or not they are just straight up human, but I don't know. I guess it's obviously neither here nor there. Like they're cave monsters. Yeah, they eat the humans, but
And
I was
Khalid, I
just
actually kind
yeah.
of think there was a bit of a progression to like them going full on eat the humans though. Like when they first saw the crawlers, like they kind of ran away. Remember, like when it was right behind the woman, the jump scare, like it ran away and it circled a bit. Like it was like, what are these things? And eventually, like once they started fighting, like they realized like, oh, they're fighting, and then it's like, okay, we're fighting too. And then also, oh, when they're dead, they're food. You know,
Yeah.
so.
I mean,
But
That's
being
fair.
eaten in a cave sounds awful. Like I hate caves, and being eaten, I don't want to be eaten. So like, nightmare fuel.
but this also could be a big metaphor for like veganism. Walk with me.
Okay,
I
okay,
got my
take us
shoes
there.
on. Let's
I have
go.
a connection, which is like, most vegans, or I think all vegans, believe that all life should be respected, right? Like no matter if it is an animal or a human. And so the argument here is like, yeah, the creatures, they may not be as civilized as us, and they may not be human and have human intelligence, but they are living things. And they, like you said, Joe, they didn't start anything. Like you walked into their home and they were just like sniffing you. That guy was just trying to sniff you and say, hey girl. And
Mm-hmm.
then you like punched him in the throat and he's like, oh, we gotta fight. Like, all right. So
Yeah, maybe it's a cultural thing. That's how they introduce each other because they're blind.
exactly. They were just sniffing out like, oh, okay, she smells friendly. And then, got a gut punch to the throat and it's like, oh, well like
I will say though, they kind of are fast and loose with what the creatures are able to do. I feel like, and I think we talked about it with like the Predator episode. That's another blind monster, but it's like you say they're blind and like their other senses are supposedly heightened or whatever in this cave system, and it's just like you can't smell the person that's a foot away from you, like you can't hear the like rapid breathing or like the pounding heartbeat.
Well, I think they do in a sense, but what is it like? T-Rex respond to movement, right? Like, didn't we learn that from Jurassic Park? Like, if you don't move, they can't,
Yeah.
even though they're so big. And you're like, how do you not see that? It's like they respond to movement. That's how kind of what I got with the crawlers was just like, they're not superhuman, like supersonic, they're not Superman. What I'm trying to say, where they don't have bionic hearing, but like you move enough, they'll get you and they'll find you quick.
Is it echolocation that they use, like the
Like
reflection, like reflected
that.
sound? Yeah, like that's what I was thinking.
I think so. But I wanted to know,
Yeah.
like, doesn't this movie have a really cool like red tint to it? Where is that from?
Yeah. Oh, I was thinking about the colors. Yeah.
Where is it from? Where where are we getting these
Yeah,
reds?
the red tint.
It's
The
really
flares. No, the flares, right?
The flares, yeah, and then in some moments there's like a nice green shiny. It's just like
It's the phosphorus,
Yeah.
right? They mentioned it where like they thought it was like sunlight, and then the girl like she's like takes a second in this like life or death situation to be like a magic school bus cast member, and she's just like, no, that's phosphorus. It glows down here. It misleads you.
wait, Khalid, it's so funny you say that because that's actually my biggest pet peeve in horror movies everywhere. It's just
They're
like
not on the magic school bus. That's the pet
yes,
peeve.
yes, because obviously I like happy endings and cute skirts too, but. I'm just like, I think of my group of friends and we know nothing. Like, we know nothing. And every time I watch a horror movie, someone knows something, the answer. They have the answer. Like, oh, it's phosphorus. I'm like, we would know nothing. We would know nothing, you guys. Like, everyone has an answer here. Or she's a doctor or she's a lawyer. So she's like, actually, you have to wrap that in. We know nothing.
I think you do know something, and that's to not use your vacation time to go spelunking. Like, that's already, you got a leg up on the whole cast of this movie.
But if you put us in a mega Target in Minnesota somewhere, and we'd get lost in there, and we would still know nothing. Like, we're not survivalists, so that's why I always find it funny when horror movies are like, there's always that one person who has the answer. You know, they're just like, this is what it is, and they're like, oh, thanks for educating me. Where did you go to school? Like, you guys learning these things? Anyway.
I don't know how useful it would be, but I would be the guy that's just like giving out TV trivia facts and just keeping the conversation going in general.
Oh, you're a Randy. All right.
Yeah.
You're Randy. Well, that's
I'll
good.
take it.
Randy too. Randy, but again, Randy knew so much. He informed us for 3 movies. How long he's been dead? He still gave us information.
No, because Randy knew so much and he stayed. That's insane to me.
Wait, that is insane, right? Randy
Yeah.
knew how it was going to go down and who was next, and he's like, "I'll be right here, Sid."
You could just read the newspaper headlines if you want to see what happened. You don't got to be there, bro.
You know how this movie goes. The beginning of the movie, how the movie goes. Randy.
Yeah.
A
real Beth move, if you ask me.
A real Beth move. And then for one thing about the creatures too is remind me, Joe, in your notes, they didn't have. Did they have just no? They had teeth, sharp teeth.
They had teeth, yeah,
gummy.
absolutely.
It's very gummy. I was like, just imagining them trying to chew on someone with no teeth, like
yeah, like gnawing at it.
yeah, just gnawing.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
They had teeth, and they were very tallish and slender. They were cute. I really love the
They're cute.
They were really cute. I mean, just they were did the female one have long hair? Am I making this up? Am I misremembering?
The female one had long hair. Yeah,
it was like stringy and gross.
She had stringy, long, gross hair. I don't love that for her, but
yeah.
Again,
it was a look. It was a choice.
Or did she just have hair? Or does she just have boobs? Why am I picking on her?
Why is she the only one with hair? That's not like a gender specific thing.
I think, I think that's my point you just made, Khalid. I'm not trying to say like I have an issue with there being a female crawler, but like it being so pronounced female because the audience isn't smart enough to get that that's a female. It's like we need to give her long hair and big boobs, and that's the only way we would have known.
In the first draft, she was supposed to wear sweatpants that said juicy on the butt. So it could have been worse, is all I'm saying.
That wasn't a great joke.
That was pretty good. That was pretty good, Khalid.
It's pretty good. Yeah. But the creatures, the crawlers, as they call them, really great. What I really love about them too is that they're a formidable opponent. It's like not to harp back on Scream, but sometimes when I watch a Scream movie and then you realize who the killer was, I was like, you guys couldn't take that 13-year-old girl.
Yo, it's so funny how it's like regardless who it ends up being, it's a 6-foot-tall like guy in a mask for the movie.
For one of them, at least, right? And then
that's the thing, though. It still doesn't make sense. Like without spoiling the last movie,
you're right.
They reveal like that, like again, like in the first movie, there's 2 killers or whatever, which fair. But one of them is a 5-foot-tall person, and it's just like, first of all, how did you win any fight? And then second of all,
she was on stilts.
Yeah, I guess so, but it was nuts.
No, and that's we can talk about that on a separate Screamish. I talked about that plenty about it doesn't work in Scream. But they're formidable here in this movie, which is like they do get down, they fight, they're like, they give these girls a rough time, and it's very believable too. Like you said, Joe, they're not superhuman strong. They're just enough where they're like scrappy and they're fighting. And I think they also were shocked that the first, these women they considered food were actually fighting back the way they were. I don't think they've ever had to encounter that.
Feel like I feel more for the monsters in that sense. Like they probably weren't expecting like 5 girls that prefer extreme sports outings to brunch to be like walking into
Yeah.
their house, and like what a fight that would be. It's like I don't know. It's just to me it was like they were very outmatched already, just being like so not that strong that like to make this their like competition was like I fell for them.
Yeah.
I
I'm with you.
severely underestimating these women, Khalid.
I know. I estimate them perfectly. I would never, they could break into my house. I wouldn't do anything. I would let them just like tour it or whatever they do for fun. And then I would just wait for them to leave and I'd be like, wow, that was scary. They were really fit.
I think Juno would F us all up like on a 101. Like
100%. 100%.
And I was going to ask, dang it, I forgot the question. Oh, yeah. Joe or Khalid, am I making this up? Did the creatures, was there like evidence that they took down like a black bear? Why am I feeling like I saw
like in the wall paintings or whatever?
Yeah.
Or the cave paintings? I think I saw something about that, yeah.
Because I was just thinking about experience, and I was like, they go to the surface to hunt. We were talking about, they do squirrels and stuff, but I was like, no, I believe something hinted towards like they take down black bears too. Like that's how fierce they are, because they hunt in groups. They don't go one-on-one. That's why there's always like a couple of them around.
I don't buy it. I don't think they could do it.
You don't think they're taking down black bears? I think
there'd have to be like the whole colony taking down one black bear. Like that's the only way I see it.
I think there are 2 or 3.
Joe, you must be shaking.
Can I circle back here just a little bit and just say, speaking of bears, Khalid?
I knew you were just like vibrating. Soon as she said bear.
I was struggling a bit. That's a segue to the 4 bears test.
Oh, I love this segue. Thanks.
Thank you.
I think we just need to bring her back on for every episode. That's like gonna elevate the segue game for us.
I'm having a high ego right now. I'm feeling good.
He's on cloud 9. He's not showing it, but he really is.
I wasn't even trying you guys, I promise. I just really thought about these bears. Yeah.
You teed me up. We'll say it was unintentional.
Okay.
It was unintentional.
Yes, that's what we'll say.
Yeah, we'll stick with that.
We'll say it. Why are you using that tone? We're saying it because that's what it is.
Yes, we'll say that's what it is, Khalid.
Of course, we've agreed. I'm going to say that's what it is.
Yes. Yep.
You know what? Sure. Let's go with it, guys.
Yep.
Gaslighting. It's
You wore me down.
Okay. All
right.
4 bears test, Khalid. How does it work?
Well, for Sadè and for anybody who's listening for the first time, the 4 bears the 4 bears test is basically just like a dumb little thought experiment I do where I ask, what would happen if you replace the monster in question with 4 bears? Is it more or less the same story? Does it change? Why does it change? It's just a dumb little what if kind of a thing. So for this movie, it's an out and out fail. I won't belabor it. These things are about as strong as like a teenager that works out, and like not like a teenager that's like on the other end of puberty either. Like they've got like a little bit of armpit hair and they hit them dumbbells, and that's just not enough to compare to a 1 bear, let alone 4. So yeah, and I mean, it's the kind of thing where I guess like alluding to what I said about the black bear, where like it would take the whole colony to take down the 1 bear. I guess it would take 4 colonies worth of these monsters attacking the women for me to be like, oh yeah, that's a lot like 4 bears. Yeah, I don't know. It's just, they're not very strong. They're kind of dumb. Like I feel like there were times when like these people, before they knew that they were blind and like could like fight them that way or avoid them that way, they were just outright like, there's a part where Juno's just shouting for like a while. She's like, Sarah, like it is so easy for like as many of them to like rally up and just go to her before she realizes that's not the move and get her. And it's, I don't know, like bears are smarter than that. Yeah, I say all that to say that I do not see a world where just like this colony alone has the bear power of 4 bears. So it's a fail. Joe, what say you?
It's interesting. I agree with you. I think it's interesting because I feel like a lot of our fails are because the monsters are too overpowered for forebears, right? Like this is kind of one we see where it's not, they're like weaker than forebears, right?
Even though it fails the test, it is refreshing. Like I love. I don't know. Like I mean, just like a monster you can throw around and like really like get a little work in on it. That's always fun to watch when it happens.
I liked it. I liked it quite a bit. Yeah, I like this kind of vibe, and it's like the strength for them is like the numbers. Really, it's not just like an individual monster is not going to do as much.
Yeah. What about
Yeah,
you, Sade? What do you think of the Four Bears test?
I've been really thinking about the test. So I have a couple of questions. The Four Bears test, it has to be the same environment, right? Like we can't take them out of their environment.
Unfortunately, no. The Bears do have to spelunk for this.
Okay, so I was like, just logically, they'd be too big. They probably wouldn't do very well in the caves. So it's not really great. But I think I'm on the opposite side of both of you. I think the creatures are stronger than the bears. I'm going to stand by that because we're talking environment and they have mastered their environment, which is being in the dark, having master hearing and working together as a team. Now, look, I know you're saying individually they are weaker and less, and sure, if we wanted to do a one-on-one thing, yes, but I think about the colony idea of them and the working in groups is a part of their like nature. So yes, am I afraid of one bee by itself? No, but am I afraid of the whole hive? Absolutely. Like that could be really devastating. We've all seen, that movie with the
With all due respect, I do have to call bullshit on the monsters having control of their environment. I refute that. I think that these girls who they don't like, this is just like a thing they did. Like they don't usually go spelunking. So like even with all of that, they put up a pretty good fight when they knew what they were up against. Like I truly believe that a Girl Scout troop, like with like 3 months of CrossFit training, could handle them.
no. See, and this is again, it's not technically a fair fight for the bear, like Miss Lisa said, for the creatures because they've mastered their environment. They've adapted to it and they're good hunters in their environment. But what they haven't done is obviously caught up to the time. So you take away those
that's it. If they knew how to use an iPhone, maybe they'd put up a fight.
Well, no, you take away the spikes and you take away the flares and you take away all the equipment that they had. Like, I really do believe those creatures are formidable opponents.
But that's most scenarios where you're fighting like a wild animal, though, isn't it? Like if you take away a gun, you definitely can't beat a bear, that kind of a thing.
Well, yeah, but that's what we're saying, right? Like we're replacing the bears in the cave with the creatures.
Well, yeah, but at this point, I'm just talking about like the kind of threat that the monsters pose in the terms of like, I contend with saying they've mastered their environment. I like when you said they adapted, like that's fair. They definitely adapted to it. But like, I feel like when you say someone has a mastery of their environment, like they're the Batman of that place and they are no Batman.
They're the bats of the cave, which I mean,
they're bat-like, but they're not Batmen.
Well, no one's Batman but Michael Keaton. But what I mean is like they know that cave. That is their cave. They know every tunnel, they know every corner, and these girls are figuring the lay of the land out as they go. Now, I agree with Joe where it's like they've never been in the situation where someone's actually walked into their home. So that took them aback a little bit in the beginning. Because it's just like, we're going to smell these things, we're going to check, we're going to poke, we're going to see what kind of threat they are. And then when they realize it's food and a threat, it's like, oh, I really do believe they're formidable opponents. But I'm not trying to take away from my ladies because I love my ladies. I think they're really great too. I just think, that last scene, you guys, where Juno turns around and she takes the spike out of her leg and then, she can take one or two. Then you see a group of them coming at her and it's like, you know what? No. A group of you guys? That's ridiculous. They're strong.
I mean, it's ridiculous, but 4 bears ridiculous?
Yeah, I do. I agree. The whole colony as 4 bears? Yeah, I agree.
So would you rather fight 4 bears than a colony of them?
Absolutely.
Wow.
A colony of them. Are you kidding?
That's nuts.
4
wow.
Bears, for sure.
Bring on the colony. That's my answer.
Wow.
Joe, you're the tiebreaker.
Dissension here. I don't know. I don't know, Khalid. I think she's selling me.
Joe, you're going to fight 4 bears?
Yeah. Over a colony that looks like 100 plus?
Yeah.
Nah, yeah, I'm doing it. Like
All right.
I'm
You
gonna
and
start.
Juno.
I'm gonna start with the shorter, like sicker looking ones, and work my way up.
Let's ask Juno how that worked out for her. Oh,
Yeah.
wait. Yeah.
Speaking of working your way up, Khalid,
See, this is what he usually does, Sade. I was
That's a good
wondering if you'd
segue.
get to. Yeah, this
and
that was a good segue. Come on,
it
don't.
was a good
No,
one.
that's a good one.
She doesn't even know what I'm segueing
Wow,
to, and she likes it already.
I have
gaslit
Uh,
twice in one episode.
Speaking of working your way up, Khalid, would you work your way up to fight or to flirt with the crawlers if you were in this situation?
I did not see that coming. No, that's not
How could you? It was not in any way like clean or smooth.
not where I thought we were going at all. I thought
It was
the rank.
That's the reaction I was looking for. Yeah.
ego down.
Okay,
Yeah.
never mind. Go, continue though.
So, Sade and any new listeners, fight or flirt is a segment that is exactly what it sounds like. Would I fight or flirt with the monster in question? With this monster, I think I've kind of hinted at it just based on how I'm talking about them. But yeah, I'm fighting these guys. Are you kidding me? Like, there's no incentive to flirting with them. What life am I looking forward to? First of all, I don't even know how I can answer this based on the fundamental fact that I would never be in that situation to begin with. I cannot, like, the only scenario I can think of is like this like girl gang who does their outings also like makes a dude at gunpoint go spelunking with them. And if I'm that dude and I'm down there and my options are fighting or flirting with a monster, I'm fighting them, you know? So like it's just yeah, like what life is it down there? Like, I don't want to know like what they do for fun, like what their version of soccer is. That sounds so sad, and it's dark, and I'm the only one that can see. So you know that they're gonna be leaning on me for a lot of things, and I feel like they eat everything raw, and the list goes on. It's an instant fight for me. Like, not to mention the fact that like I can at least handle 5 or 6 of them without breaking a sweat.
All right, so a fight, huh?
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't
All
make
right.
that clear. Yes.
I mean, no, you made it pretty clear, actually.
What about you?
Me?
Whoever. I'm throwing it out there.
I mean, I want to disagree with you because I feel like I'm in a disagree with Khalid mood, but I think you're right.
You're in those moods pretty often.
Yeah, ever since the ET beef.
I mean, if that's what destroys us, so be it. I will die on that hill.
Yeah, but no, I think you're right. I think I mean, fight. Like fight mainly because just from watching this movie, I really like this movie. I think it's definitely one of the scariest ones that in my memory, like from watching that era, it's stuck with me as a very scary movie. But it's also kind of an action movie too, and it reminds me a little bit of the movie Pandorum in that regard, and the monsters remind me a little bit of Pandorum too. But like the fighting element is what I think really turns this movie into something that's great and not good. And there's some really solid action scenes. So I think for me, if I was in that scenario, I'm trying to fight. So
hell yeah, Joe.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go off the beaten path, and I am going to try to flirt. First. I'm gonna try to flirt first. Again, like I saw the Big Daddy crawler one, and I was like, I kind of like it. It's muscular. He looks very tall. It looks like he cares about his colony. I think I can get on board here. And I'm not much of a fighter, if I'm going to be, honest. I'm a Libra. I'm very loving. I can pretty much charm the pants off of anybody. But these guys don't wear pants, clearly.
You got to get him pants to charm him off.
You know what it is? I'm gonna be Black Widow with the Hulk, and I'm gonna just hold my hand out and say, "The sun's getting low." The sun is getting low.
Yes, and you're going straight for the alpha. I like that.
I'm going. Once he accepts me, everyone accepts me. Like everyone else falls in line. Mm-hmm. I will flirt. I will bring.
So in this scenario, is it just like the sound of your voice is calming, or does the alpha know English?
Yeah. I think I would offer. See, this is where the Juno in me comes out. I would bring you the girls. Here you go.
Oh, that would have been a better twist if Juno's like, Loki, I hate my friends. Let me go feed him to this monster.
Yeah.
Oh man, just ram claws out.
I'm like, here are the girls, and I can be an asset. Like, no more you guys going up to the surface getting like little muskrats and little birdies. I will go. I will bring groups down here. I'll feed you. You don't have to worry about me. Don't.
And she could easily be like the queen. She could be the new alpha, you know. Like that's one reason to do it is like I don't love like living in a little monster colony, but like you tell me I'm leading it, it's that takes a little bit of the bite off.
Yeah, she'd be a mother of 100. So she owes this earth a child because
She could
she died. So
she could have a little like intramural basketball league. Like that's something.
I mean, I think I wouldn't want to lead the colony. That sounds like a lot of work. Like that sounds like a lot
The
of
politics, yeah.
yeah, and yeah, I'm not interested in that. But again, like Juno as a master spelunker, she could like have this whole like system going. Like, oh, people pay her to take her on tours of this cave. Oh yeah, and then she takes them down there, and it's like whoops.
I'm just imagining any of these girls like dating profiles like on like Tinder or Bumble. Like I would just be terrified if I like saw half the stuff that they get into. It's just like, oh yeah, we played Russian roulette on this trip. Like
That's how I feel every time I read like a Bumble profile from a guy that's like, you can catch me at the gym after work. I'm like, he's terrifying.
adrenaline junkies in general, just
Energy?
off-putting. Just off-putting vibes.
He's outside? No. It's crazy talk. But yeah, I'm flirting. And I think I'll do well.
Love is not dead. It's 2 miles underground, folks.
Exactly.
I like it. Great answer. I like it a lot.
Thanks.
Any last like final thoughts before we move on and wrap up?
This is a really great movie. I saw it in theaters, but if you're gonna watch it at home, just make sure all the lights are off because it is dark, and I think it's my old eyes, but I cannot do dark movies as much. It's a great story about friendships and moral and survival and just fighting for your life, and I think that's an amazing lesson to have. And the creatures and the crawlers, I guess we should say, are really well done. To me, they're very scary. It has everything you would want: jump scares, a little comedy, some boobs. So,
Yeah, technically,
Yeah, it's a real 4-quadrant movie that way.
Yeah.
Something for everyone.
it's something for everyone, exactly.
Yeah.
What I learned is that I didn't realize they were British again, Joe.
oh my gosh.
Yeah, for those of you who listen, it's just like when we watched The Babadook. I just kind of just took it for granted they had accents and didn't investigate it any further. So yeah, that was eye-opening to me reading the synopsis, and it said it was set in Britain.
It's set in North Carolina, but it's a British film.
Yeah, North Carolina, England, right?
England.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
Nice save.
Yeah. I got
Nice save. Yeah.
I got it.
They actually all have different accents. I don't know. That was a trivia piece I read. Like they're all like one's I think Swedish or something.
One is Scottish. One is from Wales. One is they're
yeah,
European colony. Yeah.
And isn't Juno's Malaysian though? I think, right?
Well, the actress that plays Juno, I believe, is of mixed descent, but descent, get it?
Yeah. Oh, very good. Yeah.
But her nationality in the film, I believe, she is like the only American, or
Oh, okay, she's American. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
That's why she could get her done.
That's why she screwed everybody.
That's
it. Yes, I agree with you, Sharda. It's a great movie. It's one that sticks with you. I think it's a really well directed movie, well made movie. It's some cool creatures. It's a good example of the genre, I think. So I'm with you on that. Thanks for bringing this one to us and getting us on choosing this one.
It was fun.
Yeah, we have one final segment before we close out, and it's our what the fandom segment. And in that segment, we all go around and share something that we're just watching, reading, listening to, something that's we are finding enjoyment from in our life that may have nothing to do with monsters or the creature we talked about. So since you are the guest, I will let you go last, Sadè. But Khalid, what the fandom with you this week?
Thanks for asking, Joe. My What the Fandom this week is actually a show that I just watched right before this recording. It's a new show on Freevee, which is just one of those like free streamers that doesn't sound real, but it is. And it's this new show from Greg Garcia, and it's called Sprung, and it's about this guy who played by Garrett Dillahunt, who was in prison, and then because of COVID, he was granted early release with like a bunch of other people just so that they could avoid overcrowding. But it's such a I haven't been a fan of many of the let's talk about COVID shows that have come out or movies. It's always like just like wealthy people in like a loft or something like that, where it's like, I didn't seem that bad. But now, like, we're getting these like really cool stories that kind of talk about the nuance of like, your COVID was not like a poor person's COVID experience, and being able to like place it as like these people that were just like granted freedom in one sense, literally entering a quarantine, which is like its own prison in a lot of ways, especially when you don't even like necessarily have a place to live guaranteed. So I've only seen the pilot so far, but I really like it. Greg Garcia is a really great showrunner. He's done My Name is Earl and Raising Hope or other shows he did, and he got a start on King of the Hill, or at least that's when I first started hearing his name. And he just does like a really good job of like putting like lower class people in the center of a story and mining comedy out of it without making the fact that they're poor the joke. It's always like there's a point to it beyond that, and it just really like hits the Malcolm in the Middle fan in me of like, when you can do it right and you don't feel like you're just like laughing at people in a bad situation, it's always like enjoyable. So I'll report back if the rest of the show sucks or something, but as of now, I wholeheartedly recommend Sprung.
Cool recommendation, Khalid. I actually thought about. I haven't watched the show, but I watched The Descent on Freevee and saw the trailers for that show. Is that what you saw that too?
Weirdly enough, no. I kept
Huh.
seeing trailers for The Descent, which was confusing because like I'd check out because it could be like a phone commercial or something, and then I just start seeing like the characters, and I'm already having trouble trying to figure out who's who. So now I'm just like, wait, what scene is this? And then it was like The Descent on Freevee, and I'm like, I know, I'm watching it, but no, I did not see the trailer for this while watching The Descent.
Yeah, it was a jarring transition from this movie to that trailer, but yes. Anyway,
Oh, and you can watch it. You can watch Freevee on Amazon Prime for anybody who's just like, I don't want to download another streamer. And you can just search it through Amazon Prime, and it'll be free with ads.
cool.
Sorry, Joe. What the fandom with you? I was just
Thanks,
like,
Khalid, for passing the torch. I was waiting
oh
for
my
you.
god! I was just like, what's all this dead air? Is
That's really great.
Yeah, I was waiting for you.
They-
I like to make you sweat.
No, yeah, you earned that one.
Yeah, no. Okay, so my fandom this week is a podcast I just started. I just started this it's a dark comic fictional podcast. I told you about it, Khalid. It's called Dark Air with Terry Carnation. It's I don't think it's currently running, but it ran for a couple seasons and I just started it. But Rainn Wilson stars as this like host of a AM late night talk radio show about like bizarre topics like ghosts and weird stuff. And it has a bunch of other like comedians in it who are also regulars and guest stars. But there's like kind of a undercurrent of a plot that's going on through the show where he's trying to figure out like a mystery that might have happened with his wife while also like hosting the talk radio show. And he has like usually comedians or guest stars act as callers. Like the first episode, I think Sam Neill was one of the guest callers, which was kind of fun to see. But one of the a guest who's frequently recurring so far in the episode that I've read is one of our previous guests on this show, Dominic Burgess, who is on the show. So it's been fun to hear his voice again. But it's very funny and it's also really intriguing, and it's kind of a cool stepping stone for me to get into like the fictional podcasting world. I'm always listening to just like shows that are like talking about pop culture or something, but like something that actually has a plot and a story. It's kind of new for me for podcasting, and I've enjoyed it, and it's a cool show. So it's called Dark Air with Terry Carnation. Check it out in any podcasting place.
Nice.
So,
I will say
yeah.
though, Joe, that in a lot of ways, this podcast that we host is a story about a man who is slowly learning how to successfully do a transition.
It's a very epic tale, and we have a long way to go.
It's Game of Thrones style that way. Yeah, we're like in like season 5, and you still haven't gotten it.
Maybe someday. Maybe someday.
I believe.
Sadè, what the fandom with you?
See, I really thought the flirt and fight transition was about the ranking of the monsters, and I was like, oh, that's such a good transition, and that's why I was like, oh wait, I'm so confused. Not to get on your case. Okay.
Well,
You're-
you have a good idea there. Like you were thinking about it, which was nice.
Right. So I gave you some powers, little
That's what you want from a natural segue, is someone to put a lot of thought into what you mean by it.
now. What I'm reading, watching, listening to. Look, I was thinking while you guys were talking, I was like, oh, I gotta come up with something so intellectual that makes me sound real smart and like really cool, like your suggestions. And the only one I have is everyone listen to Renaissance by Beyonce.
Yes.
Yeah.
Cultural Reset. It is a piece of art from start to finish. I don't know what she's put. Probably, Josie and the Pussycats, the subliminal messaging. That's what she did, because I listen to it every day. And I'm not exaggerating. Since it came out, I don't know how to stop. It's very, very good. So if you're looking for fun, if you're looking to let go, please listen to Renaissance by Beyonce. That's it.
It's crazy that you bring up the like Josie and the Pussycat subliminal messaging thing. I only listened to half of Renaissance, and I woke up with a bunch of like Ivy Park yoga pants around me. So I think you have something there. Like there's something going on.
There's literally something in these lyrics. She's whispering to me, play it again. And I'm like, but I played it. Yeah, play it again. And I'm like, okay, I guess I won't listen to any other music ever again in my life. I don't know. There's something different about this album. I do love her. I love Lemonade, but I didn't even play Lemonade this much. It's just something's very different about this. And if you don't like her, I don't know how to cure that. I'm not a doctor. So
penicillin, they just actually announced it.
Yeah, seek help.
yeah. If you're somehow Beehive like avoidant, take a shot or two.
Yeah, I think that's a good sign for like mental health. Like, or like, oh, I don't like Beyonce. Oh, I should probably go see someone. Something.
I like it.
They're not judging me. I'm not making a joke of mental illness. People don't come for me. I'm just, listen to Beyonce Renaissance on all platforms everywhere.
It's a banger. Yes. I agree.
Banger.
Love it. Before we close out, is there anything that you, Sadè, you want to plug of your own, like any works that we should look out for, any upcoming projects that you want to talk about?
Yes, and speaking of Josie and the Pussycats, take note, Joe.
Good segue.
I am actually in a new book out by Russell Burlingame, a huge fan of Josie and the Pussycat, the movie, and it's called Best Movie Ever, an oral horror. Sorry, it's called Best Movie Ever, a horror.
Wow.
It's called Best Movie Ever, an oral history of Deborah Kaplan and Harry Elfon's Josie and the Pussycat movie. So I'm in the book quite often talking about my experience of watching Josie and the Pussycats and what it means to me. And you can buy this book, I think on Amazon. But the most important thing about this book is that it has interviews with all the cast and crew, Rachel Lee Cook, obviously, and everyone else, Tara Reid, and then, but more importantly, me, I'm in here. So buy the book. I think Quincy Jones is also interviewed in here because of the music. And I'm in a book with Quincy Jones. Like, what? That's crazy.
I love a good Quincy Jones interview, especially like these last few years when he just like doesn't give a shit anymore. It's so great.
I haven't read what he said in this book, but I'm hoping it's really like salacious and salty. I'm hoping he's dropping like dirty gems. We shall see. But please check the book out, especially if you love Josie and the Pussycat and just the history of that. Outside of that, Afro Horror drops a new episode every month. Not on time every month, but in the month. It used to be the first Monday of every month. Now it's just every month, okay? So
I like that. It's like a pleasant surprise. Like, oh, it's out.
Oh, look, Afro Horror came out. Yay! So we're doing that. And I do have a short film that's in festival circuits called Decisions. It is not a horror. It is actually a drama. But I've just had a meeting today with a DP friend, and I'm prepping my next horror short that should be shooting in like 3 weeks. So, yeah.
Oh, exciting.
Congrats.
Thank you.
Yeah, congrats indeed. Send me the links for all those things, and we'll put them in the show notes too.
Yes. Yeah, I will have to find the best movie ever. I think there's also an audiobook version of it too, which is cool. Uh, I'll
Ooh.
send you that, and I'll send you the link to. Well, Decisions doesn't have a link because it's circulated and circulating. So I can't link that, but I'll send you like the Instagram if y'all want to follow.
Yes, for sure.
I'll follow us. We'll be we already had a showing. It passed this weekend. Sorry, I don't know where we're going next. But for After Horror, I'll send you all the links, you guys. Yeah.
Thank you.
Fantastic. Yeah, definitely. Listeners, definitely check out that stuff. That's all sounds great. Afro horror is great. Like I said in the beginning, thank you again so much for coming on. This was a super fun discussion, super lively. It was a blast to finally connect and talk, like not just typing through Twitter messages finally. And so that was really nice. So thanks for coming on.
Yes, I'm so happy to finally meet both of you, and I'm glad we had this movie. Was a good dialogue, some interesting takes. I was pleasantly surprised, even though I disagree with Khalid. It's nice to not hear the same thing all the time, though.
I also want
Yes.
to say I appreciate the lively conversation and at times debate you brought to this. You set out with a thesis, an objective at the beginning. You were like, "I'm gonna turn y'all. I'm gonna make you guys fans." And I will say, while I don't know if I could call myself a capital F fan yet, you did change the temperature for me on it. So mission accomplished.
I think that's great, and I'm happy because that's what I set out to do. Watch the sequel. Let's talk about it again. It's not as good as this one, but it holds up. Like, it's really good.
Nice.
I'm curious. Yeah, I'd never seen it. I was a little nervous to check it out, but I want to watch it now.
Check it out, and maybe we'll do a part 2.
We definitely should.
Nice.
Yeah.
All
All right, Khalid.
All right. Well, Sade, again, thank you so much for coming on. This was super fun, and thank you for the movie recommendation. And thank you to everyone at home that is listening to this. Yeah, Joe, do we know what we're doing next? Is it what we kind of talked about before?
Nope, no idea.
Okay, cool. So question mark on that, y'all. But thank you again for listening, and until next time, creep it easy.